Everything they taught us about history might be wrong. Beneath our feet, the Earth holds secrets we haven't begun to understand. What if we are not the first to reach the stars? Some structures exist that simply should not be possible. The official story says primitive hands built these, but the stones themselves tell a different story. Göbekli Tepe changed everything we thought we knew. 12,000 years old and far too sophisticated for its age. This was built before agriculture, before pottery, before cities. So who taught them to build like this? The Sphinx stares east across millennia, but its body bears the scars of thousands of years of rain. The last heavy rains in Egypt ended long before the Sphinx was supposedly built. Someone or something was here before the pharaohs. Across the ocean, another mystery waits. The Nazca lines can only be seen from high above, yet they were created 2,000 years before human flight. Who were they signaling and from where? The evidence isn't limited to stone and sand. This device tracked the movements of planets with impossible precision. It was built 2,000 years before similar European technology. Ancient India described flying machines in vivid detail. The Vedic texts speak of wars fought with weapons that sound terrifyingly modern. One passage describes a single blast that lit up the entire sky. In Mohenjo-daro, archaeologists found skeletons frozen in their final moments. The radiation levels at the site remain abnormally high to this day. Something ended that civilization in an instant. And it's not the only one. From Turkey to Peru, from Egypt to India, the pattern repeats. Advanced civilizations, rising and falling long before our recorded history began. But if they were so advanced, where did they go? The geological record holds a terrifying clue. Around 12,000 years ago, something changed everything. The Younger Dryas period brought sudden catastrophic cold. Temperatures dropped dramatically in just a few decades. Something hit the ice sheets hard. The resulting floods would have been biblical in scale. Every culture on Earth remembers a great flood. Gilgamesh, Noah, Manu, the names change, the story doesn't. What if these aren't myths at all? What if they are eyewitness accounts? The survivors would have faced an unrecognizable world. Their knowledge, their technology, their entire civilization buried. Only fragments would remain for us to find. And those fragments suggest something extraordinary. Underwater ruins off the coast of Japan defy explanation. Perfect right angles, straight edges, clear architectural intent. These structures were above water during the last ice age. Sea levels rose by hundreds of feet when the ice melted. How much of their world is now hidden beneath the waves? Satellite imagery has revealed circular formations in the Sahara. Some appear to be ancient river systems, others don't. The Sahara itself was green and inhabited just 5,000 years ago. Civilizations can vanish and the Earth erases almost every trace. What would survive of our cities if we disappeared tomorrow? Concrete would crumble in centuries. Steel would rust away. In 10,000 years, almost nothing would remain. The pyramids might be the only thing still standing. Stone endures when everything else turns to dust. So the question isn't whether they existed, it's why we refuse to see them. The establishment says history is a straight line, but the evidence curves, branches, and doubles back. Mainstream archaeology dismisses what it cannot explain. Anomalous artifacts get locked away in museum basements. Out of sight, out of mind, out of the textbooks. But some researchers refuse to look away. Graham Hancock has spent decades following the evidence. His books have sold millions. The public is listening. But mainstream science calls it pseudoscience. The same mainstream science once said the Earth was flat. Scientific consensus has been wrong before. The evidence for ancient advanced civilizations keeps mounting. LiDAR has revealed entire cities hidden beneath jungle canopy. Civilizations we never knew existed. The Amazon was not empty wilderness. It was a managed landscape built by millions. Then European diseases arrived. Within decades, 90% of the population died. The jungle swallowed their cities whole. This happened 500 years ago. We are only now finding them. If we can lose civilizations this recent, what else is buried deeper? Beneath the Amazon, radar has detected enormous geometric structures, too large and too regular to be natural. Some date back over 10,000 years. That predates agriculture in the official timeline. So who taught them to farm? Every major crop we eat today was genetically modified long ago. Corn cannot survive in the wild. It was created by human hands. Those hands existed far earlier than we were told. The story of civilization doesn't start where the textbooks say. Newgrange is older than Stonehenge and the pyramids combined. Its builders understood the solstice with perfect precision. They built this 5,000 years before telescopes. Stonehenge aligns with the summer solstice rise, but its blue stones traveled over 100 miles from Wales. How did they move stones weighing up to 50 tons? The official answer is ropes, logs, and sheer willpower, but some stones show no signs of dragging or rolling. It's as if they were placed gently by something stronger than human hands. Across the world, ancient peoples built with the same impossible precision. Easter Island's Moai statues weigh up to 86 tons. They were carved, transported, and erected on platforms miles away. The islanders had no wheels, no draft animals, and no metal tools. Yet the Moai were moved up to 11 miles across rugged terrain. Some statues have red stone top knots weighing 12 tons each. How do you lift 12 tons onto an 80-foot statue? The islanders themselves said the statues walked. Maybe they weren't talking about ropes and logs. The same question haunts every ancient site on Earth. Why did ancient peoples, separated by oceans, build the same way? The same geometry, the same proportions, the same astronomical alignments. Coincidence or a shared source of knowledge? Plato wrote of Atlantis 9,000 years before his time. He described a civilization beyond anything in his own world. Then, in a single day and night, it was destroyed. Plato insisted it was not a myth, it was history. For 2,000 years, we laughed at him. Now, the seabed is telling a different story. Off the coast of Spain, sonar has found a massive buried structure. The timing matches Plato's account almost exactly. If Atlantis was real, the implications are staggering. It means advanced civilizations can rise and fall completely, and we are not immune to the same fate. The ancient world knew things we have forgotten. The Dogon tribe of Mali knew about Sirius B before telescopes existed. They described its 50-year orbit with perfect accuracy. They said this knowledge was given to them by beings from the stars. Every ancient culture has stories of beings who came from above. The Sumerians called them the Anunnaki, those who from heaven came. They taught humanity agriculture, law, and mathematics. Then they left, or were destroyed, or simply vanished. The ancient Egyptians described the Zep Tepi, the first time, a golden age when gods walked among men. Then came the age of chaos, and the gods withdrew. Hindu texts describe cycles of creation and destruction lasting billions of years. We are currently in the Kali Yuga, the darkest age. The Mayans tracked enormous cycles of time. Their calendar ended not with apocalypse, but with renewal. What if these cycles are real? What if civilizations rise and fall on a schedule? The evidence suggests we are approaching another turning point. Climate change, pandemics, nuclear proliferation, AI. The same forces that destroyed them are building around us. We think we are different, we think we are smarter, but the stones tell a humbling truth.
They built to last. We build to consume. Their knowledge was written in stone. Ours is written in silicon. Silicon degrades. Servers fail. The cloud is not forever. If we disappear, our digital civilization vanishes with us. The ancients left us stones. We will leave nothing, unless we learn the lesson they are trying to teach us. We may not be the first, but we could be the first to learn. The ancients built for eternity. We build for quarterly earnings. Their monuments whisper across millennia. Our buildings won't last a century. We dismiss them as primitive, but they understood something we have forgotten. They lived in harmony with cycles we deny exist. We think linear. They thought cyclical. Every ancient warning tells the same story. Hubris precedes the fall, every single time. The Romans thought their empire was eternal. 2,000 years later, tourists take selfies in its ruins. Will future tourists take selfies in the ruins of New York? The Earth has seen this before, many times. Each layer tells a story of rise, glory, and sudden end. We are not the first to think we are the apex, and we will not be the last to learn we were wrong. But there is a difference this time. We are the first civilization with the power to destroy the entire planet. The ancients faced local catastrophes. We face global ones. Their warnings were carved in stone for a reason. They knew stone endures when everything else is gone. We have not been listening, but the stones are still speaking. They speak of cycles, of warning, of hope. Hope that we might be different. Hope that we might remember before it is too late. The Earth has buried many civilizations, but the Earth also preserves what matters: stone, knowledge, the will to build something that outlasts us. We stand at a crossroads that every civilization before us has faced: the path of hubris or the path of humility. The ancients chose hubris. We know how that ended. But their stones remain, and so does their message. They built monuments that would outlast their mistakes. They wanted us to know they were here and that they failed, so that we might not make the same mistake. The Earth is not a resource to be consumed. It is a home to be stewarded across generations. The stones remember what we have forgotten: that we are part of something far older than our civilization, that civilizations are temporary, but knowledge can endure, if we choose to preserve it. The ancients left us a final gift, not their technology, but their warning and their hope. We are not the first, but we could be the first to listen, to build not for ourselves, but for those who come after, to become worthy of the stones they left us. The Earth remembers, the stones wait. What will we leave behind?